The next objection we will be covering is expert witness. Although the objection is called expert witness, you wouldn't actually stand up and say, "Objection, Your Honor, expert witness." Now, this objection is based on the belief that expert witnesses must be qualified to a higher degree than lay witnesses. For example, a medical examiner or a forensic expert will be qualified in those fields and therefore have the ability to testify about that. Now, whereas a lay witness cannot testify about the state of the dead body, a qualified medical examiner can. However, because they have these qualifications, they must state them in front of the court. Before they go into the real substance of the testimony, before they go into the facts, they must state why they are qualified. This often looks like an attorney asking the witness, "What are your qualifications?" Then after that, the witness will go through and list, "I was educated here, I am qualified in this, and I have this training." And this is essential because if you do not do this, then opposing counsel can object, "Objection, Your Honor, improper expert testimony," when your witness is trying to explain their specific opinion on a certain situation where they have expertise. Now, for example, if the medical examiner were to testify about the state of a dead body without first stating their qualifications, they are not qualified before the court and therefore have no ability to testify on this. Now, how would you object to this? As I previously stated, when the expert doesn't lay foundation for their qualifications, you would stand up and say, "Objection, Your Honor, improper expert testimony." You can also object to the question. If opposing counsel asks the witness, "Now, what was your opinion, in your professional opinion, what did you think about X, Y, and Z?" Then you would stand up, object, and say, "Objection, Your Honor, this question calls for improper expert testimony." Now, in this case, opposing counsel might try to say, "Well, Your Honor, in their statement it says they are qualified, it is stipulated that they are qualified." However, to this you can respond, although this is true, it is also up to opposing counsel to qualify them before the court. However, there are some specific cases in which you don't need to do this. If before their direct, opposing counsel says, "Your Honor, I would like to read stipulation X, Y, and Z into the record." Now, the stipulation that they will most likely read into the record is a stipulation stating that the witness is qualified. Now, if opposing counsel does this, you cannot object this objection because the stipulation was read into the record and therefore the witness is qualified before the court.